Charlie, during the recent House of the Dragon episode, Helena revealed another prophecy, another example of her having seen the future in her dragon dreams and speaking it out loud without anybody realizing she was telling them the future, tragically. And largely it has to do with what is happening with Rhaenyra's storyline at the Red Keep as she takes the Iron Throne, and Helena's new dragon dream is also related to her own future. Most of the time, when Helena blurts out her visions casually, they're visions of things that will happen to other characters, other storylines, but this one is also connected to her own future. Helena is one of those characters on the show, kind of like Alice Rivers, who are telling people the future, but nobody's listening to them, and it has very tragic consequences. Recently, Alicent found Helena in the Godswood of the Red Keep, sitting near the weirwood tree, writing in her journal about butterflies and looking at caterpillars.
Yeah, before we get like a little recap of episode 3, yeah, nah, this show is really cooking right now. It's really cooking. So Elena and yeah, they pretty much made everything smooth for what I mean, sure to get to King's Landing and you know what I mean, but yeah, the Greens they're looking pretty yeah, they down a couple points right now. And killing Otto too. What's his name? Yeah, Otto. Don't mind me. I'm bad with the names. These names are kind of crazy. But yeah, nah, it's Sunday episode gonna be crazy.
Caterpillars who had not yet cocooned and turned into butterflies. You also notice the plant that they're on are the flowers, the red flowers that Laris Strong was talking to Alicent about when she was younger
Oh
during
yeah,
season
Allison.
1
Yeah,
before the big time jump. Helena tells Alicent she knows that she has spoken directly to Rhaenyra. She knows about their secret treason meeting because Helena witnessed it in her visions. She's already seen Rhaenyra on the Iron Throne. We saw
right.
her with Daemon while he was watching her on the Iron Throne. So Elena has always known Rhaenyra would eventually sit on the Iron Throne again, but because of the way her visions work, she never understands the timing of anything. She doesn't know if what she sees is about to happen right now, or in many years, or in an extremely long amount of time. She just knows things are supposed to happen at some random point. So she's not surprised Rhaenyra is coming, but the butterflies
And also Rhaenyra's yo. I forget the actor name, but yo, all I'm gonna say is the acting is top tier, yo. Started from I would say yeah, episode 2. Yeah, her acting is top tier. Or is it episode 3? On my think. Hold on, what episode? What the hell? Episode 3. Yeah, episode. Yeah, because we're on episode 4, right? Yeah, her reaction to her losing her son, her other son. So she lost 2 sons already, or is it 3? I remember she was giving birth to another child in season, was that season 2? And yeah, and the child didn't make it. But the shit she's going through just for this Iron Throne, bro. Every is the head that wears the crown, I guess. But yeah, she going through a lot. But her reaction to like her losing her child, bro, is like she's as he came in, you know what I mean, still body type shit. She's talking to this nigga like he's still alive, like, yo, like, what have you done? That's what you said. What have you done? Like, yo, like this nigga gone, bruh. Like her reaction was, it was, it was crazy. Good acting, yo.
flies and caterpillars being out of season is part of a new dragon dream. When she says it's not the right season for the caterpillars to turn into butterflies, they're still in their caterpillar state. What she really means is that it's not the right time for Rhaenyra to be claiming the Iron Throne. It's not the right time for her to take King's Landing. It's happening ahead of schedule, which is meant to feel like a very ill omen. Like things would be better if everybody just did what Helaena saw in her dragon dreams. Like, just do things according to the way my dragon dreams go down and you'll be fine. Particularly her dragon dream with Daemon seeing Rhaenyra on the Iron Throne. That's the one that she's talking about, implying that Rhaenyra was supposed to claim the Iron Throne in some different way later in time. And had she done that, things would have been better for Rhaenyra in the long term, but because of the recent events with Jace dying and Daemon gassing her up and the plan with Alicent, the timeline is accelerating and things are no longer going according to Helena's vision, and that is very bad. It's going to be very bad for Rhaenyra long term. Following that, now that things are going down a bad path, not according to Helena's previous dragon dreams, is Rhaenyra beheading Otto Hightower and what happens after with Alicent and Helaena witnessing it. That was not supposed to happen according to Helena's visions. The writer said the reason Daemon and Rhaenyra executed Otto Hightower was because they thought that he was still Aegon's Hand of the King, and they need to execute the Hand of the King in a public way with like all their retainers, all the people that support them in the throne room here to secure her rule. But Daemon and Rhaenyra didn't know that Aegon fired Otto Hightower and replaced him as Hand of the King with Criston Cole, so they really needed to kill Criston Cole first. But they didn't know that because they weren't privy to what happened inside the Red Keep during Season 2 because Alicent didn't tell Rhaenyra about that part.
So technically
Alicent
she's
didn't
not
know
the...
that Otto Hightower was being kept prisoner in the Black Cells. She thought that he was on his way back home. So the other bad part here too is that Alicent now thinks that Rhaenyra double-crossed her and captured Otto Hightower somewhere different around the realm and dragged him back to the Red Keep, and she'd been planning this for a long time, when in reality Daemon and Rhaenyra just found him in the Black Cells and just assumed that they needed to kill him. So already, things aren't going according to Helena's previous dragon dreams, and it's absolute chaos, things getting worse and worse by the second. Alicent sees her execute her father, now it strains their relationship, and she'd been Rhaenyra's biggest supporter before this, even saved her life just a few minutes ago because it was Alicent who got the gold cloaks to come to the throne room and save Rhaenyra and Daemon from Aegon's Kingsguard and his castle guards. They'd be dead otherwise. So already not doing things according to Helena's dragon dreams, doing things out of season to make the caterpillar butterfly reference that she just made, things for Rhaenyra are off on a very bad foot, or head to make more Otto Hightower puns. Also implying things will only get worse for Rhaenyra this season because now they're going on a different path that they weren't supposed to according to the way things Helaena saw them a while ago. So one of the really big lessons is that Helaena, people like Alice Rivers, tell people the future. Tragically, nobody listens to them, and it goes badly for everyone. Like, if you just listen to the people who are telling you the future, things would be better for everybody. The other meaning to her journal entry about the butterflies is also part of a dragon dream about her own future, whether or not she realizes it's about her future. She just sees everything in the future and can't distinguish between reality and her dragon dreams. So that's why she's always walking around seeming like she's spaced out. She's a little bit like Bran to a lesser degree when Bran became the Three-Eyed Raven and turned into like a version of the internet, just like immediate access to all information ever, but no real understanding for the context for things or when things were happening. Just saw everything all at once. So this is why her butterfly notebook entry reads, the camera really wants you to notice this too, alumni of Noth, no other shade, the lines are distinct as if drawn with a quill, they are said to cause death to people around them while living, but so far, I remain alive. A lot of you will remember the alumni of Noth are George R. R. Martin's poisonous butterflies from Noth that were referenced during the original Game of Thrones series. Missandei is from the island of Noth, and it said there are butterflies there which are poisonous enough to kill you, so a lot of people joked during the original Game of Thrones Season 8 finale that when Grey Worm says he's taking the Unsullied to the island of Noth to continue their journey of liberation, Daenerys' war before Jon Snow killed her, everybody joked that the Unsullied were heading to their deaths, like they make this big stink about going to Noth, and immediately will die minutes after getting off the ship when they're all stung by the poisonous butterflies. When Helaena wrote that they are said to cause death to people around them while living, but so far I remain alive, the prevailing theory is that Helaena is thinking about her own death. She's seen her own death in the future, and she might be having suicidal thoughts now. This is also meant to be very
Uh,
tragic because she's like one of the nicest characters on the
right.
show, like most
She's
lovable
chill.
characters. She said she'd love to raise chickens with Allison, but we know that it's going to be a very tragic ending for all the characters, so there's no way that that was going to happen. In one of her new dragon dreams, she's having about her own death just manifesting in the form of butterflies. So it is likely when we see Helena's death at some point, we will see more butterflies references. And Helena in general has always been a huge fan of bugs across all the seasons of the show. Even when she was younger, she has bugs and bug pictures, paintings, drawings of bugs all over her room, which are currently the Queen's chambers because she is still the Queen. We got a really big tour of that during season 2 behind the scenes. It's actually really cool. Helena has done like a huge bug.
Yo, I want to see her dragon too. I think it's called Dreamfire or something. Yeah, I want to see how that dragon is. 'Cause I think it's a pretty big dragon. Yeah, I
Makeover
think it's second after Vagar. I think.
of the Queen's chambers, along with writing a lot of her prophecies all over the walls. Like she wrote about Jon Snow, Daenerys, the events of the main Game of Thrones series in chalk all over her wall. But obviously, nobody inside
Mm.
the Greens realize what's happening and that she's telling them the truth. I really love that House of the Dragon goes this deep on the Easter eggs. So if you want to know more about what Helena actually wrote about the future of Jon Snow, Daenerys, all those characters, I already did like a full breakdown video of that a couple years ago when season 2 was happening. So I'll link that below in the description because it is very, very detailed.
Burn them all!
Mad King.
Even when she was younger, she loved bugs, and it completely weirded Allison out. Like she couldn't understand why Helena loved bugs so much while she was spitting out prophecies. The only two people in the royal family so far who seemed like they understand Helena was first Viserys before he died. She stood next to him at the funeral in season 1 when she was younger, so I got the vibe that Viserys, who was a huge history geek himself, he loved lore, loved prophecy, and he knew all about dragon dreams in general, so he probably figured out that Helena was also having dragon dreams and understood what was going on, even if he didn't know exactly what the dreams themselves meant. And while
Mm.
Helena was literally telling Aemond his own future, one of her dragon dreams straight to his face, like, no, 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 you're supposed to die in the God's eye. It kind of seems like Daemon in present day might be the only person who has literally seen and talked to Helena inside a Weirwood vision or dragon dream, depending on how you think the show is portraying them. But Daemon is like the only character who understands that this is real, and Helena is part of all this. Because of the way the show has changed Helena from the books, they're making it super clear about dragon dreams being totally different from Weirwood visions or how Helena can enter a Weirwood vision unless she's also a green seer. Helena might be a green seer. There were a lot of theories about this in season 1. In season 2, because she was able to enter Daemon's vision, which was like a completely separate vision. Like, it's one thing
Mm.
for her to have her own dragon dreams, her own visions of the future. It's another thing to jump into other people's minds, too. Typically,
Mm.
the only people that can do stuff like that are green seers like the Three-Eyed Raven, who was speaking to Daemon from the future through the Weirwood network. But it's just another example of why Helena is one of the most tragic characters on the show, because she's telling everybody the future, what will happen, and nobody's listening to her, kind of like Alice Rivers, but also now she's seeing her own death in her dragon dreams. For the most part, I think this particular scene was mostly about Rhaenyra, though. Like, they want you to think about Helena in the distant future, but mostly about Rhaenyra short term right now, because this season is all about Rhaenyra coming back to King's Landing and sitting the Iron Throne, and things
I'm
just
so
not
curious how
going
it's
according
gonna
to plan
turn
at
out.
all.
Like,
Not according to Helena's dragon dream,
yeah,
too. So be prepared for things to get very, very chaotic in a
yeah,
downward spiral for Rhaenyra this season. Lesson
yeah,
learned, always follow Helena's dragon dreams. Based on the Next Time On trailer and a lot of the future trailer footage that we've seen in the previous ones that they have released, it seems like a lot of Rhaenyra's downfall this season is all tied to her getting high on her own supply on the prophecy and thinking that her rule
mm.
was destined, preordained, and that she is the prince who was promised, the one spoke about in the prophecy from Aegon's dagger that
That's another thing too. Prophecy, like same with yeah, Daenerys, right? Like she came to Westeros and like she's so stuck on the prophecy. Like I gotta get the Iron Throne. I have to. You know, what I mean, this is my destiny type shit. Like, bro, like yo, I forget. They said I don't know if it was Sam And when he was talking to Jon Snow, he was like, yo, like, you would give up your crown. Like, but like, would she get, like, with Daenerys, would she give up her crown? Like, something to that effect or whatever. But it's like, yo, like, you want the throne so bad, like, bruh. Like, it's crazy.
that Viserys, her father, told her about.
It's crazy how
But
people
to
look
be
at
fair, you
Destiny
can't
and
lay a
like,
lot
yo,
of
I
this
have to
blame on
do it. Like,
Rhaenyra
nigga,
because she wanted to give up in episode 2. It was Daemon who gassed her up using
like, the path
Daenerys
to get it
Targaryen
is
and his
messy as
rearward
hell.
vision from the Three-Eyed Raven, kind of misinterpreting things. That's a very common theme in George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, is people misinterpreting prophecy to their own downfall. And they also really wanted to make Daemon seem like he was complicit or responsible for a lot of what Rhaenyra's doing here, because she didn't want to behead Otto Hightower initially. Daemon didn't force her, but he was sort of like the demon on her shoulder, just gassing her up. Do it, do it,
Right,
do
right.
it. Like full Palpatine meme, do it. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below, and we will see what other Dragon
But also her reaction, like when Allison pulled up and she saw Otto, like damn, like after when he died or when he got killed and shit, her reaction was like, oh my bad. And then her face expression gradually changed, like, all right, it is what it is, my nigga. Like, yo, like she's standing on business. But it's like she ain't want to do it, but like it is what it is. This is what I have to do in order to, sit on the throne. I mean, like it's crazy.
dreams and future prophecies that Helena spits out this season, because she probably will have a couple more in her. My full episode 3 video will post Sunday night after they release it, so be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss that. Everybody click here for that video update, the link as soon as I post that, and click here for all my...
Oh yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, we on episode 3. So yeah, 3 happened Sunday. So and all that killing Otto and all that shit happened. That was episode 2. Okay, all right. Yeah, my fault. But yeah, no, this, yeah. Cinema is gonna get crazy. Cinema. Yeah.